I've gotten better at these artist interviews ever since I started doing them in 2008 and 2009. Even though the podcast, we've been starting it in 2014, it took me that much time to finally get myself in a way where I can ask certain questions and be confident about it. So that's good.
Well, if you can be a good interviewer, you become an even better interviewee. So,
Right.
Yep.
Right.
My only regret is, and video, regardless of what you're doing, whether it's news or whatever, there's a lot of art involved. That's maybe where it coincides with what you talk about so much, is that I wish I could have stayed young forever, because the technology is so fantastic in video production, and it is art. I mean, look at all the graphics that are used in TV. It's totally art, not just in the stories that you do, but in all the technology. I just think that young people getting involved today have so many opportunities. It's wonderful.
Well, the access to the technology is another amazing thing that has happened in the last 10 years. And I imagine that you've seen all different technologies come and go, especially since when you started with those 7-inch reels.
Oh, yes. Yep.
And you had to upgrade.
Yep. And then you had the what we called porta-packs, where you had a camera on your shoulder and the big recorder on your side. And now we can. Oh yes, and they never worked. Were always breaking down on you. But now we can go out and plug into an internet connection with our phone, literally, and have as good a picture as we would ever want. It's fantastic. I just wish our students everywhere, like here in Atlanta, had the opportunities that we had, and some of the students have in other communities where they really utilize public access TV, and that going along with the internet. Everything's changing. TV's going to change, but because I think students have some great ideas. In fact, our students started something in 1973 that was kind of unique. You're not on TV all day long, but we had the channel all day long. So they had a message board, little cards that flipped over in front of a camera to give community message. And they started doing DJ work. We had a little radio station. And they would play music, take phone calls, requests. And then they started putting a camera on them. And in 1973, they coined the phrase of being VJs.
Wow.
And then 3 years later, MTV came along, and our students thought maybe we ought to get a copyright infringement for using VJs. So young people come up with some really neat, creative, new ideas, and that's what it was all about.
Right.
Let's try something we've never done before.
And now you see that a lot. The Howard Stern show is like that. He's in the studio, and you have cameras on him.
Yep. Daniel Flores should have a TV show like that as well. The camera's on you.
We'll have your people talk to his people.
There you go.
There you go. So tell me, 33 years later, what did you think you wanted to do with your life at that point?
I loved my job. I probably would not have retired. I retired at 55 when I could. Probably would not have done that, other than the fact that education had changed, and there were so many new rules and new regulations and things that had to be done that, for me, being old school, I didn't fit that mold anymore. So I thought maybe it was time to go ahead and retire and let somebody who thought they could handle it better. But I loved what we did with the students, and they're still doing it. But I retired, and I wanted to live in a big city for a while.
You were ready to move on to the big
I was
city.
ready to move on. I always wanted to live in a big city, and I thought, I better do it before I get too old to do it. And I looked at, actually, Las Vegas was going to be one of my choices. Yep.
Is that right?
And I thought that was going to be it. And then I came down and visited some family and friends in Atlanta. And the opportunities here in Atlanta are unbelievable. And of course, it's the third largest, busiest media hub now, and with all the art and the entertainment and everything going on, Atlanta is the best kept secret of big communities that there is.
And so you chose Atlanta.
I chose Atlanta, and I am loving it. Yep.
How many times did you visit Vegas when you were that made you decide that you wanted to go to Vegas?
Until I lost all of my money. I had to keep going back to try to win it. No, I always enjoyed Vegas because music is a sideline. I'm a pianist and a musician, and so I kind of liked seeing everything that was there. But we've got that here in Atlanta as well.
There's a lot of entertainment.
Really, sure.
A lot of entertainment, a lot of art, a lot of video, a lot of Everything, yes.
Yep. And you can even act as extras in movies.
That's
the movie
right.
industry's so big here, so
It is.
It's a fun place. And I seriously, for artists, people in media, there are a lot of opportunities here, and it's easier to take advantage of those opportunities here than I think it is a lot of other cities. I don't know why. It's an more open environment. People will say, "Oh, you're interested in doing something? Well, come and watch us do this at our business." Like, "Oh, this doesn't happen in New York."
Right.
That's for sure.
So it's a friendliness.
Yes.
And it opens the door.
Yep, a real Southern hospitality, I guess.
Yeah, and and that's crazy because the majority of the people in Atlanta are not from Atlanta, and they're not from the South.
True. That's true. I just met a lady the other day, a really sweet-looking lady in her 80s, white hair, perfectly fixed, and she had that perfect Southern accent. And I told her, I said, talk to me for a second because you're the first real Southern lady with that Southern accent I've heard.
Oh, wow.
And I just want to have a she loved it. But yeah, most people are from somewhere else today.
But I think we do take on that persona because we experience it firsthand when we get here. And we decide that it's so cool that we carry that on too.
Yep.
And we become that type of friendliness.
Yep.
That is very good. Yeah. I did, as an artist, I realized that a long time ago. And I feel that there are a lot more opportunities here that I don't see in other places. And I think it's because it feels fresh and new that it's open to anyone trying it out. Whereas in other cities, I feel that there's so many established brands and corporations that unless you're budgeted at a certain level, you can't get into the market.
Right.
It's just not going to happen.
You just said the magic word there, I think, established. Other places are so well established, and Atlanta seems to be a community that wants to always try new things, wants to be the technology center, the new, app. I mean, we're sitting in Atlanta Tech Village today, doing this interview, and I can't imagine the things that are coming out of here app-wise and technology-wise. Just amazing.
Yes. So that's good that you came here, and you came to retire. What did you think your retirement was going to be like? Lazy Sunday afternoons, drinking tea, lemonade?
Yep.
Walks in the park.
That's it. No, I did. I thought I would be able to go to shows, go to art galleries, take the walk in the park, sip tea on the porch, and then I came down and I saw the opportunities. I thought there are a few things yet to be done video-wise. So,
well, I follow you on Facebook, and I see you posting pictures of Corvettes.
Oh, yes.
You're hanging out, doing stuff, business stuff.
Work, yes.
With some super nice, pretty-looking sports cars. What's that opportunity like? What's going on there?
That's just, like I said, one of those opportunities that came out of nowhere. BuyAVette. They sell Corvettes, classic Corvettes internationally here. Always have 150, 170 of them in stock up on the perimeter. And they needed someone to come and do sales videos. They ship cars all over the world. And so I go up there a couple days a week, and we get to look at these Corvettes and film them and ride in them. And
how'd you find that opportunity, though? Were you putting out business cards and you're saying I do video?
This is interesting, and I never would have done this before. I decided to put an ad on Craigslist for a retired video instructor wanting to do some video work, and by golly, they called. Someone called, and so we went up for an interview, showed some sample work, and there we go, just like that.
Yes.
Now that doesn't happen everywhere.
No.
So.
And Craigslist is not the one place that you hear lots of success stories coming out of.
Yep. And people here are so easy. I've got to do videos with, Andrew Young, Ambassador Andrew Young's birthday party. Got to go up there and do some video. And, I can't tell you how it's so easy for that to come about. It wouldn't have happened anywhere else, but suddenly I was invited to come up and shoot some video there, and the people who got to meet there were great.
Yeah, I see you taking lots of pictures. Are you a photographer? You have a photographer?
No, I just I'm thrilled, and I have my phone, and I have to take pictures. And I don't have that many friends here in Atlanta yet that I share things with, but I'm sharing things with people back in Indiana that I'm basically not being egotistical about it. I'm just saying, look at what's happening down here.
You're not showing off. You're not bragging.
I hope not. A lot of them probably think I am, and I don't mean to do that. I'm just saying, wow, I'm standing here in front of Ambassador Andrew Young. Who would have believed? And he's talking to me. This is wonderful. It's wonderful.
Very nice. Okay. So do you What do you see yourself working on coming up here at your retired stage in Atlanta? Because I know we talked about public access that you've done at home.
Right.
Is there something like that you're looking for here?
Yeah. To be quite honest, I went down and volunteered a little bit at our local access station here, which is called People TV in Atlanta, and they've been around a lot of years and did some great programming. And
I used to be on People TV.
Really,
a long time ago.
Okay,
back in '99 or so, I knew people who were doing shows at People's TV, and they wanted sponsors for their show, and it was music shows. They did like MTV type of thing.
Oh yes,
they showed music videos. And so they wanted sponsors, and so I owned a tattoo shop at that time, and we said, okay, we'll sponsor. I said, but we want a segment. We want to produce a segment, and you add that segment to your show. And they're like, sure, why not? And this is the VHS tapes days, big cameras with VHS tapes, and we would record a segment, a whole 3-minute segment or so, talking about the tattoo shop, our art, and ourselves. And no editing, no nothing. We just tape it from beginning to end in the right order and try to get as much of the footage done right, so we wouldn't have to do any editing because we didn't know how to do anything. And then they would stick that. They would help us clean it up and stick it into the show. And before we know it, my partner and I have a partner at the time. His name is Loriata. We would recognize on the street.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah. If you show people things they're interested in seeing, or maybe show them some things that they suddenly become interested in, you can be a star in your own community. That's
right.
So that's what I think. I think public access has struggled everywhere, and I would, in my particular job, do speaking engagements around the country with public access about engaging schools and community with public access, and it's tough to raise funds these days, and everything's changing, and I just see a lot of opportunity here for public access TV to become something a little more than just I'm mad at the mayor, so I'm going to go on TV and talk about him for 30 minutes. So they do a great job. They've got great opportunities there. I just hope maybe we can
spice it up
a little bit, take advantage, get some students involved, let people have some experience, have some fun.
What do you think about the web, though, the opportunities that the web offers with webcasting and a YouTube channel, etc.? Because you don't need to have a terrestrial station, a location, to produce and distribute a show.
No, you don't. And broadcast TV is going to change completely. The web is where it's going. I think it's all finding its place right now, and we'll find a real direction to it. The truth of the matter is, yes, you can have a TV show on the web. If I want people to really watch me in Atlanta, I think I still need to be on that TV as we know it. Where do you sit down to watch the football game? You're not ready to give up your TV yet, are you? Totally?
Not totally. I have, me personally, and I'm 42 years old, so I'm not in that main demographic, but those main demographic, they're behind us, and I think they are more geared towards smartphones and web.
Right, and I think all of our TV that we watch, that we're used to watching, will all be on the web. In fact, the web will become our TV. In other words, we're still going to have the big TVs in our living room.
Right, that's true.
But how that information gets there, I think will be, in 5 years, we'll see something totally different about where it's actually coming from. But I think it's important to have that TV station there. If it wasn't, Fox 5 wouldn't be on, WSB wouldn't be, still on broadcast over the air TV, but it's all changing. And I think it's important to have both right now. And I think public access is a great place for perhaps some students or people interested in TV to try some of those new things and experiment with some ideas about regular TV and web and how they come together.
It's time for a new day.
Time for a new day.
And ever so often the technology changes, so you have to adjust.
Yep.
Anyway, so it's that time for that adjustment.
And those adjustments are not gonna come from older people like me, but hopefully some of the older people like me can help give some opportunity to some of the creative minds that are coming on.
Very good. Well, make sure Artist King and all the artists that I know are included, because I know we have lots of ideas
Definitely. And I know the good work you do with Artist King, and having been to one of the Artist King weekends,